Hi everyone, it's Aussie Commander here from Australia, Narre Warren in Victoria. Just to follow up from my previous video, this is part 2 of the Losi 5T hop-ups or upgrades that I mentioned in my last video. As I said to you, I've run through on the car the actual hop-ups that are the upgrades that I've put on the Losi 5 and explained to you what I've done to put those on and any difficulties that I found during the installation. Rightio, in the meantime, you swivel it around. I bought this great little stand the other day off Darren RC in New South Wales. It's a great price. I got this for about $125. I'll just remove it for a minute. It's designed, set it down there. It's designed for a Baja. As you can see behind me, I'm rebuilding a Baja. That's another video on itself, but it's primarily designed for a Baja. And there's a lot of different stands in the States, but it's just too expensive for the Australians to import over here. You know, I'm not going to spend $400 Australian on a stand when I can get one for $125. Okay, it's not as flash, but it does the job, and that's all we're asking. Now these fingers on the stand, you can just fold these down, and then I just put a rubber mat on the base to stop it from scratching the bottom of the car. Right, there we go. Okay, let's start with the body first. The body upgrades that I've put on this car. Now I've put a front windscreen in here. Now the windscreen doesn't go all the way across the front of the body or the entire length of the windscreen outlet here. It only goes a midway. It's obviously allowing airflow to travel through there, cooling the motor and also getting air to the air filter. Over here I've put a rear, as I said to you in my first video, I put a rear lower window, obviously as I think to protect the shocker supports, stop any large things flying in here. I think it just looks good and this looks finished. So you just haven't got this big open area at the back of the body. Now I'm going to take the body off and I'll show you what else I've done with regards to the upgrades. Now I've gone through, as you can see straight away, I've put the Bartolone pipe on. So I've removed the standard pipe muffler. I think it's a really bad design because you've got this muffler and the exhaust goes inside the body of the car, which I think is ridiculous. I think there should be a pipe, extended pipe coming off the standard muffler and it goes out towards the rear wheel. Anyway, that's another story. Now, Bartolone, great pipe. It's fantastic. It fits the way it's supposed to fit. As they say, it's designed to fit onto a Losi 5T. It fits exactly the way it's supposed to fit. The only thing I have with it, the only problem I have with it is getting an Allen key, or what you call, guys, an in-hex wrench, or whatever you want to call it, depending on which part of the world you're from. Now, they say on the installation videos to use a ball on the end of your a ballpoint Allen key to get into this area here. But to me, that's just a load of rubbish, right? You're going to strip the head of that bolt out. You're on an angle, blah blah blah. You can get to this one okay, just by getting underneath and undoing it and fastening it the way you want, but getting in here is a real problem. Look at the bend radius. You can't get your standard Allen key in here. You have to go for this sort of technique, which then starts stripping. What I've done is I've grabbed another 4mm Allen key, and what I've done is I've trimmed that down. I've shortened it, so what that does now, it allows me to get in here and perfectly fits. This is just a bad design, I think. I think they don't need, probably they're gone with this radius to get the pipe coming out the rear to the rear wheel. But it's not much of a problem. You just shave down an M4 Allen key and you can fit in there quite well and get the tension you need. Right, moving around, I've put the shocker protectors on, or the shocker covers. They're just an elastic type fabric. They're machine washable, so when they get filthy dirty over a period of time and use, they just pull up and down. It's just like putting on a pair of socks, and you just pull that down and they're good again. Now I've just put an additional thing up here. I've put a cable tie at the top to stop them from sliding down during, while I'm using the while I'm hooning around with the truck. I'm using a cable tie to prevent them from slipping down. Now, also I've gone ahead and put the you'll see here, but in after this video, I've put some stills. I'll put a slideshow up, and it will show you what I've done from Losi 5T standard hubs, and now I've put the hub extenders on. Now the hub extenders increase the width by 12.4 millimeters on each side. So obviously a total of over 24. I've increased the width of the vehicle by over 24, probably 25 millimeters. Now the only problem I have with that is when I put the body back on, the body actually starts hitting the top of the wheel. So what I've got to do is actually on the rear, start screwing the shockers up to get a bit more length, so I get a bit more height, a bit more clearance, makes the shockers firmer to prevent the body hitting the top of the wheels and damaging it. Now I've gone through, so it's a great little stand this, you can just whiz it around when you're working on it. The only thing that you can't do with it is put a lock on it. So if I'm working on one position, it'd be great if I had a lock or a pin going through the stand, and I can just lock the stand in place. Now I've gone ahead and put, as I said, I've put the wheel extensions on, or the wheel extenders, or the hub extenders. But once again, there's a lot of still shots I'll put up after this video. It shows you what I've done there, removing the originals and putting the upgrades on. They're fairly easy to do, and I think the upgrade hubs look much better than the standard hubs. Now going around here, I've put outwear on it. I've got an air filter, outwear cover on it, and also have a pulley. Your pull start, I've got an outwear on the pull start as well to prevent grass getting in there and everything getting chewed up. Now that's just all to protect the motor, and that's it. But later on I'm going to do an upgrade on the steering arm. There's a great upgrade from America. They've got a steering arm which is a much more heavier duty arm than this. And it prevents slop. Okay, this is a new Losi, but it doesn't have a lot of slop in there at the moment, but over use it gets sloppy, and these bolts only go through a certain way into the nylon type plastic, and they just pull out. So these upgrades, you can get a bolt that goes right through with a nut that comes up underneath a nylock nut, so there's no chance of it coming off. Also, the other upgrades that I'm going to do in the future, I've just bought a Killer RC kill switch, purchased off eBay. Now I get a lot of my stuff, or a lot of my upgrades that I buy off eBay, I get from Big Boys Toys. Have been very helpful for me in Melbourne. Darren RC is in New South Wales. Also large scale, he's stationed in Britain, but a lot of things, his things are okay as well. And I've also been getting a lot of help from Powerslide Racing. Now I'm telling you these because the Australian people, or the Victorian guys, just gives us an idea where to shop and find these items for a Losi instead of importing them from America or wherever else. So I'm trying to keep everyone's costs down, but it's very difficult here. Now, also in my first video, I would have showed you, I've got FFRC, what we call bash plates, or what we call, plate protectors, or whatever you want to call them. These fit very well. They come with their own bolts to screw them to the bottom of the Losi. Now I've got a front and I've got a rear FFRC bash plate or cover plate to protect the differentials. That's all I can really do under here. It looks, I'm happy with that. It looks really good, and I recommend doing it from new. So then it's not like I've done all this from new. I mean, I haven't even started this Losi yet, but I want to go through and make sure I get it all in place correctly, because I don't want to put upgrades over shit, really. I don't want to put upgrades over damaged stuff. It just defeats the purpose. Now, another upgrade I'm going to do in the future, which will be another video, I've got I'm looking at Zenoa motors. I'm looking at a Zenoa OBR. I'm looking at a Pro Stock CNC Zenoa motor, 30.5 cc motor, 5.5 horsepower, which has been ported, and it goes a lot harder than this standard 26. This standard 26 will do for the moment, but what I've seen on YouTube, the Losis are a little bit underpowered with this standard 26cc. I think it'll be better with a 30 or a 32cc motor. Also, another upgrade I've been looking at is a 2-speed gearbox. Now, FID Racing do a 2-speed gearbox for this unit which slips straight in, and I will be looking at that, because when you upgrade the motor, it's revving really hard. Okay, it's looking for a second gear. To get the maximum out of your motor, I think you need a 2-speed gearbox to get use of the entire upgrade. Now, also up here. Also, I think it's really important that you get some Losi spare parts. Down a little bit, mate. Now, what we've got here, I've gone ahead and ordered some stuff off eBay, some Losi 5T bolts and screws and stuff for out in the field. So obviously I've got spare wheel nuts here, because I'll put the wheel extenders on, and they come with their own caps, and the caps are really good because they enclose the hub and they stop dirt and grit getting into the lock and grub screw that lock the hubs in place. Now, they're the standard hubs that I took off. They're quite narrow, obviously they'll do, but I've gone ahead and put hub extensions on that. Now, I've got spare body clips. You're always looking for spare body clips, and also a whole range of things that you quite regularly break or lose, or there's a whole kit here. So I recommend even spare wheel bearings. Simple things that can slow you down for the day. I carry a spare box of bolts and screws and bearings and all that sort of thing that I need. And I just bought this organiser from Bunnings. It's only about $5. Also, I carry another box with me, and in this box I've got a combination of things for my other RC cars. Obviously, I've got the tools and everything here from my Baja and from my Losi, spare fuel pipe and everything that I need. Yeah, and I think that's all I need to tell you at the moment. And stay tuned, and I'll do a video on my first run. Okay? Cheers for now, Commander.